Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back to the Scrap 5 challenge. On the screen right now, you're looking at the 5 items I'll be using on my layout today. So welcome back to my channel. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for joining me once again for the Scrap 5 challenge. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, be sure you click on that subscribe button down below. Also hit the notification bell and that way you'll know once I upload new videos. So I am going to be joined by a few other crafty ladies today doing this challenge. So be sure to check out my description box where you'll find the links to all of their videos. And I am going to be sharing a 12 by 12 layout using that photo you saw previously. It's a black and white photo. And you can see here I am using quite a bit of colorful items from the Vicki Boutin collection. Now I'm not sure which collection I am using today, but I'll go ahead and list all of these items that I'm using today down in my description box. So here I'm just looking through my embellishments, trying to find some enamel dots. You can see previously I showed you guys the doilies I'm going to be using. Some vellum I pulled out. I also pulled out a white gel pen to do my faux stitching. And I showed you guys a fine liner as well, but I ended up not using that fine liner. I used a white gel pen instead for my handwritten journaling. And I pulled out some yellow enamel dots. So now I'm going to go through my pattern paper and choose one for my background. And you can see those really large alphas in yellow. And I'm going to use that as my title. So I wanted to get a pattern paper that will go well with those alphas, seeing that those alphas are going to be so bold on my layout. And using this black and white photo, I was pretty much free to choose a really bold background with this layout. I did not have to match it up with my photo at all. Now, the reason I chose that black and white photo, the lighting on my photo was not that great, so I decided to print it out in black and white. So here I'm going to go with the striped background, and I think my alphas will stand out really well against that background for my title. And now I need to put some pieces, some layers in between my photo and that colorful background just to make sure my photo stands out. So I'm going to begin by adding in this black cardstock as a mat behind my photo, a very thin border. And I decided just to go with the yellow vellum and not the other colors that I pulled out. So I'm going to add in one of these yellow mats using that vellum, and I'm going to add a second one just to have it a little bit of a more concentrated yellow behind my photo. If I just place one, it will not be bold enough, it will not stand out enough, so I added a second piece of vellum behind my photo, as you can see here. Now, to put a little bit more distance in between my photo and that striped background, I'm going to use my doilies. I'm going to layer my white, black, and silver doilies behind my photo right now. To add a little dimension, you can see there I added some foam adhesive behind my photo, and that would lift it off the page a tiny bit and just making it stand out a little bit more. You can see I also cut my doilies apart. That way I'm not wasting any of them. The part that's going to be tucked behind my photo, you're not going to see it, so I removed that part. And I'm going to use it to the bottom part of my photo and tuck those pieces in on the bottom as well. So once I'm done working on the mats behind my photo, I'm going to start working on my title. Now I am going to be using those really bold yellow alphas, and I've had those forever in my stash. I cannot remember where I got them or if they're even still available, but if they are, I'll go ahead and link it down in my description box. And I'm going to remove the pieces, the ones that I need for my title now. Where they're connected on that die cut sheet, there are those little nubbly pieces that holds it in place. And I did not remove any of those. I removed so many letters from my title. It just would have took too long to go ahead and remove all of those little nubbly pieces, but you don't notice them in the end at all. Now my title is going to read Pieces of My Heart, and right now I'm going to go ahead and punch out all of the alphas that I need. And you can see there it's blending in with my background just a tiny bit. It's not standing out as much as I wanted it to. So I'm going to go in with a finger dauber and a distress ink pad in the color Hickory Smoke, I believe. And I'm going to ink the edges of all of these alphas, and I am not going to let you look at me do all of them because it did take quite some time. It also took quite a while to punch out all of these alphas from that die cut sheet as well. Now once I'm done inking up the edges and the inner parts of these alphas, I will go in and do my faux stitching. So right now on my layout, I have the doilies, I have the vellum, and now I'm gonna do the faux stitching, and I'm using my white gel pen, and I believe this is a 0.1 tip that I'm using right now, and just adding some broken lines all around each of these alphas, and you'll get a closer look at the end of this process. I'll give you guys some still shots as well as a closer look towards the end of this video. So now that I have all of my alphas ready for my title, I'm just placing them on the layout before I add any adhesive, just to make sure I like how it looks and they're all where I want them to be. And I went ahead and adhered them using some liquid adhesive. Right now, I'm just going through the die cuts from this collection, from this Vicki Boutin collection, and pulling out some pieces I think will go really well with the background and this layout. And I'm looking for mostly the black, the craft color, and I pull in some teal as well as a tiny bit of green. Later on, I do pull in a little bit of red as well, and of course some yellow. Now you'll see the word that says "Say Cheese" above that photo. I do remove that. I felt it was just a little bit bold, but in the end, I bring it back just to add a little bit more balance to this layout based on where I had my other embellishment clusters. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and join us doing the Scrap 5 challenge for this month, go ahead and let us know down below where we can view your layout. And if you post it on Instagram, be sure to use the hashtag scrap5, and that way we'll be able to see it as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and continue adding my embellishment pieces to my background, and then I'll work on my journaling. So I absolutely love how this layout turned out. I love how colorful it is, how bold my title is. And the photo that I'm using today is of my kids and my grandson. And this was taken on my third son's birthday, on his 21st birthday, just last December in 2019. Now I do add in the incorrect date on my layout later on. So I do need to go in and change that before I add that to my album. So yeah, you can see I'm pulling in quite a bit of word phrases using the sticker sheet and the cardstock stickers as well. And I am gonna pull in the fourth item from my list as well in just a few moments, which would be those enamel dots. And that would mean I am left with just the hand journaling to add. Now, I did feel like the top part of my layout was a bit empty, and I did not want to add any more embellishments to the top. So instead, I'll go ahead and add in a border in just a few moments using some black cardstock. Now here I decided to add in that word phrase that says "say cheese," and it's pretty bold, and I decided to go ahead and remove the pieces that I added on the photo itself. And I'm going back and forth right now thinking that I want to add it on top of the photo, but I ended up adding it behind because I did not want it to stand out as much as it did if I added it on top of the photo. And I do remove the stickers that was on that corner. Now it did leave a little bit of adhesive behind, but being that that part of the photo was white, you hardly even notice it. So here I'm just removing a sliver off the bottom of my layout and part of the top, and I'm gonna remove 2 strips from that cardstock, and I will use my 12 by 12 close to my heart cutting mat to line everything up nice and straight in a 12 by 12 and adhere both of those cardstock pieces to the top and the bottom of my layout. So I'm now going to add in some more faux stitching to the top and bottom part of this black cardstock, and I also add in the date, as you'll see here. And once again, I added in the incorrect year, so I do need to go in and change that. And at the top part, I do add in that this was Brandon's 21st birthday. And I felt that was my journaling, but I do go in with a finer tip gel pen and add some more journaling on top of that camera that's on the lower left corner cluster. And I believe it's a 0.5 that I use, a 0.5 tip gel pen. Now I am going to show you guys some still shots at the end, as well as a close-up look at this layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this process today. And if you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget, if you're not already a subscriber to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing today, and check out my description box for all of the items that I use, as well as the links to the other ladies participating on this hop today. So I want to thank you all for watching, and until my next video, bye.